Hey everyone, this is Bobby at Coppell TV Repair with a quick how-to information video for Vizio power supply board, or it's Delta power supply board DPS-324AP. It goes into Vizio M652i-B2. It's a really old model that not many people will repair these days, but this is a quick information that will help you. We have seen two types of failures in this board. One of them, loud pop, followed by totally dead TV. The best indication for that is the main fuse here will be blown, if you can check it out. If not, if you focus on one of those two capacitors here, you will find something that looks about like this. It may be missing some part, there may be some burn marks on the back. This one just went off the board. Those are snubber caps for the two switching transistors that drive the power factor correction circuit. And do not replace just the caps. Make sure you replace the transistors as well whenever this is done. Of course, the fuse will have to go, the transistors, the two capacitors there, and it will not do you any harm to check the gate circuits resistors, which in this case will be this 22 ohm marked R809, if you can see it, and the other one here on the other side that is marked R810. It's the bottom one here, and it goes to that arrow, and this is where it's marked. Check for continuity, check for, it's oftentimes hard to find a burn mark. If they're burned, it is possible, not necessarily. If they're burned, the diodes that are next to them may as well be burned, and it's possible that the IC may have to be replaced. Those things happen relatively rarely though, and are usually, the IC is not included in part of a repair kit because it is only needed like one of, I don't know, 10, 20 times, etc., etc. The other thing, depending on the version of the board, depending on when it was built and with what batch of parts, if the board is totally dead but the main fuse is not blown, you want to replace those two. First, of course, you want to check them and replace them with the parts that I will provide a link for a repair kit, do-it-yourself repair kit for those. When you get those out, the transistors that we'll send you will be better ones, than more powerful and more reliable than the ones that are here. That it doesn't really make any difference. It's just, I've explained it many times, it's cheaper to buy larger volume of a higher quality transistor rated for bigger current, possibly higher voltage, although not necessarily in this case. We don't want to maintain 50 different nomenclature just because for manufacturers it does make a difference whether they make 100,000, 200, 500,000 units with 5 cents cheaper transistor than what we do here. So with repairs, at least in my opinion, the quality repairs always use much smaller set of components, especially switching resistance, everything of higher, better quality, the higher grade, the highest that they need, and then just use them in lower case applications like this one. And now you will have to take the heat sink off for that. Do not forget when you do to clean the back of that before you apply the heat transfer compound. Clean that. I don't know, I've seen many times where even professional TV repairmen, we see boards here that are brought or sent, and people try it and they just apply heat transfer compound on top of the older one. It's terrible. So make sure you clean them well, make sure you apply the new one. It should be part of the repair kit. Of course, many other things can fail, but those are the two, and they're separate issues with that board. As far as testing goes, the easiest way to go about it, well, first of all, as I said, test the fuse. Then I'm just putting power here. What you want to do is you want to see that you have 5 volts on the output of those diodes. You can measure them to ground, which happens to be the heatsink next to them. I'm going to use the positive as ground. The output of the diodes will be the cathode. So this is what we have here. 5 volts, and it's negative because I have reverse leads. My ground is my positive. Now, to start the board and see that everything works, before it's activated through here, before it's told by the main board to wake up, it only has standby power, and that is what we measure, the standby. At the same time, the voltage over the mains filter caps will be 160, 170 volts. To signal the board to wake it up manually, you want to jump the 5 volts from the standby, which is the first 2 pins according to this legend, to the 4th pin, which is power supply on. I use a simple jumper, and what that simple jumper does is just tells the board to wake up. And the very first thing that you want to make sure is working fine when you do that is to check your PFC and see that it's there, 395 volts. When the PFC is there, you can also go and check directly here. You can measure it on the connector itself, but I measure it directly on the capacitor. I have 12 volts. That board is working fine. It's ready to go. And that is all. Best of luck. Find link for the repair kit if you need it down in the comments. And here, remember, replace both transistors, replace the 2 capacitors. I'm sorry, I showed you those 2 capacitors, but they're actually those 2. The dischargers for the diodes. So those 2 don't go bad normally. Some repair kits will have them included as well. And they will go bad again like 1 in 20, 30 times. It's probably not going to be part of the repair kit. But that is it. Best of luck with your repairs, and hope you learned something and save some time and money.